WWE just made a decision that has sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling community, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, what they've done to Becky Lynch is absolutely disgusting. The company that claims to care about their talent, that preaches about being a family, has just shown their true colors in the most heartless way possible. Becky Lynch, the man, the Raw Women's Champion, these are just a few of the titles Becky Lynch has held throughout her illustrious career in WWE. She's captivated audiences with her unmatched intensity, brutal brawls, and undeniable charisma. But in 2025, Becky Lynch faces her toughest opponent yet, a battle for the health of her young daughter. And instead of supporting one of their biggest stars during the most difficult time of her life, WWE has essentially turned their back on her. What I'm about to tell you is going to make your blood boil, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand why thousands of WWE fans are calling for a complete boycott of the company. Let me paint you the picture of what's really happening behind the scenes. Becky Lynch's daughter has been diagnosed with a rare autoimmune condition that requires constant medical attention and specialized treatment. We're talking about a little girl who should be playing with toys and learning to ride a bike, instead fighting a battle that no child should ever have to face. Any parent in this situation would drop everything to be with their child. Any decent human being would understand that family comes first, especially when we're talking about a child's health and well-being. But apparently, WE's definition of family doesn't extend to actually supporting their talent when they need it most. According to multiple sources close to the situation, when Becky approached WWE management about needing time off to care for her daughter and be present for crucial medical appointments, the company's response was nothing short of callous. Instead of offering support, understanding, or even basic human compassion, WWE reportedly told Becky that taking extended time off would negatively impact her storylines, and could affect her position on the roster. Can you believe that? A company worth billions of dollars, a company that generates massive profits from the blood, sweat, and tears of performers like Becky Lynch, is essentially holding her career hostage while her child is suffering from a serious medical condition. But it gets worse, much worse. Multiple industry insiders have confirmed that WWE executives have been pressuring Becky to find alternative arrangements for her daughter's care so she can maintain her full-time wrestling schedule. They've suggested everything from hiring full-time nannies to having other family members take over primary caregiving responsibilities. Think about what that means. WWE is literally asking a mother to choose between her career and being present for her sick child. They're asking her to prioritize entertainment over her daughter's health and emotional well-being during one of the most traumatic periods of the little girl's life. The most disgusting part. WWE has been using Becky's dedication to her craft against her. They know she's passionate about wrestling, they know she takes her responsibilities to the fans seriously, and they're exploiting that commitment to manipulate her into compromising her family's needs. Sources within the company have revealed that WWE executives have been making subtle threats about Becky's future with the organization. They've hinted that other female wrestlers are more reliable and more committed to the business. They've suggested that Becky's divided attention makes her less valuable as a performer and a company representative. This is psychological manipulation at its worst, targeting a woman who's already dealing with unimaginable stress and emotional trauma. What makes this entire situation even more infuriating is how WWE has been controlling the narrative in the media. They've been planting stories about Becky being difficult to work with and demanding special treatment. They've been spreading rumors about her being unprofessional and unreliable. Meanwhile, the truth is that Becky Lynch has been one of WWE's most dedicated and hardworking performers for years. She's wrestled through injuries, she's taken on extra responsibilities, she's been a mentor to younger talent, and she's consistently delivered main event quality performances that have generated millions in revenue for the company. But now, when she needs support the most, WWE is actively trying to damage her reputation and paint her as the problem. They're using their media connections and their influence in the wrestling journalism world to spread false narratives that protect their image while destroying hers. Several wrestling journalists have admitted off the record that they've been pressured by WWE to avoid covering this story or to frame it in ways that make Becky appear unreasonable. The company has been threatening to revoke press credentials and limit access to events for any media outlets that dare to question their treatment of one of their biggest stars. This is corporate censorship at its most blatant, and it's happening in an industry that claims to value storytelling and authentic human emotion. The financial aspects of this situation are equally disgusting. WWE has been using Becky's contract terms to essentially trap her in an impossible situation. Her current deal includes performance bonuses tied to specific appearance requirements and storyline participation. Missing shows or segments results in significant financial penalties that could cost her hundreds of thousands of dollars. For most people, this might seem like a standard business arrangement. But when you're dealing with a family medical crisis, when you're facing mounting medical bills and the need to potentially relocate for specialized treatment, these financial penalties become a form of economic coercion. WWE knows that Becky needs the money to pay for her daughter's medical care. They know that the treatments required for her condition are expensive and often not fully covered by insurance. They're using her daughter's illness as leverage to keep her locked into a work schedule that's incompatible with being a present, caring mother. The company has also been blocking opportunities for Becky to earn money outside of WWE. They've prevented her from taking on certain endorsement deals, they've restricted her ability to make personal appearances, and they've even interfered with potential acting opportunities that could have provided additional income during this difficult time. This isn't just about business contracts or professional obligations. This is about a massive corporation using its power to exploit a mother's love for her child and her fear of financial instability. The reaction from other WWE performers has been telling and heartbreaking. While most can't speak publicly due to their own contractual obligations and fear of retaliation, several wrestlers have reached out privately to express their support for Becky and their disgust with the company's handling of the situation. One current WWE superstar, speaking on condition of anonymity, said, "What they're doing to Becky is evil. Pure evil. She's been nothing but loyal to this company, and now when she needs them most, they're treating her like she's expendable. It's making all of us question whether WWE actually gives a damn about us as human beings." Another performer revealed, "We've all been told to keep quiet about this situation, but honestly, it's been affecting morale backstage. People are scared. If they can do this to someone like Becky Lynch, what would they do to the rest of us if we had family emergencies?" The fear among WWE talent is palpable. They're watching how the company treats one of their biggest stars during a family crisis, and they're realizing that their own job security depends entirely on their willingness to sacrifice everything for the entertainment of others. Some wrestlers have been quietly organizing support for Becky, including offering to cover her responsibilities when possible and contributing to her daughter's medical expenses. But they're having to do this in secret, afraid that WWE management will retaliate against them for showing solidarity with someone the company has clearly decided to make an example of. The WWE Universe's reaction has been swift and brutal. Social media has exploded with criticism of the company's handling of Becky's situation. Hashtags like #support Becky Lynch and #WWE Heartless have been trending worldwide, with fans sharing their own stories of family medical crises and expressing their outrage at the company's lack of compassion. Ticket sales for upcoming events have reportedly been affected, with some fans returning their tickets in protest. Merchandise sales for other WWE products have dropped as fans redirect their spending to support Becky's family directly through various fundraising efforts. The irony isn't lost on anyone that WWE has built much of their recent marketing around themes of family, loyalty, and overcoming adversity. Their corporate social responsibility campaigns talk about supporting communities and helping those in need. Yet when one of their own employees faces a genuine family crisis, they respond with cold corporate calculation rather than human decency. Fan groups across the country have been organizing protests outside WWE events, carrying signs with messages like, "Becky's daughter greater than WWE profits," and, "Real families support each other." The visual of passionate wrestling fans standing up for one of their heroes against the very company that's supposed to represent their interests is both inspiring and heartbreaking. Legal experts familiar with employment law have begun weighing in on the situation, and their analysis is damning for WWE. Several attorneys have suggested that the company's actions could constitute workplace harassment and possibly even discrimination based on family status. The pressure tactics, the financial manipulation, and the apparent retaliation against Becky for prioritizing her child's health could all be grounds for significant legal action. Employment law specifically protects workers from being penalized for family medical emergencies, and WWE's behavior appears to violate multiple federal and state regulations. One prominent labor attorney stated, "What WWE is doing to Becky Lynch is textbook workplace bullying. They're using their economic power to coerce an employee into choosing between her livelihood and her child's well-being. This is exactly the kind of behavior that employment protection laws were designed to prevent." The legal implications extend beyond just Becky's situation. If WWE's treatment of her becomes the subject of a lawsuit, it could open the door for other wrestlers to come forward with their own stories of corporate mistreatment and exploitation. The company's entire approach to talent relations could come under legal scrutiny. There's also the question of whether WWE's actions constitute a breach of their own publicly stated values and commitments. The company has made numerous public statements about supporting working families and being a responsible employer. Their treatment of Becky directly contradicts these stated principles and could expose them to additional legal and financial consequences. This situation is exposing fundamental problems with how the wrestling industry treats its performers. For decades, wrestlers have been classified as independent contractors rather than employees, which limits their legal protections and gives companies like WWE enormous power over their careers and personal lives. The Becky Lynch situation is becoming a rallying point for broader discussions about wrestler rights, healthcare coverage, and the need for better workplace protections in professional wrestling. Labor organizers and advocacy groups are using her story to highlight the systemic issues that affect all wrestling talent. Other wrestling promotions have been quietly reaching out to Becky, offering her opportunities that would provide more flexibility for her family situation. Companies like AEW and Impact Wrestling have built their reputations partly on treating talent better than WWE, and they're seeing this as an opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to supporting wrestlers as complete human beings rather than just entertainment products. The situation is also affecting WWE's relationships with potential business partners and sponsors. Several major brands have privately expressed concern about being associated with a company that appears to prioritize profits over the welfare of a sick child. The negative publicity could have long-term consequences for WWE's ability to secure lucrative partnerships and endorsement deals. Beyond all the business and legal implications, we cannot forget the human cost of this situation. Becky Lynch is dealing with every parent's worst nightmare, watching their child suffer from a serious medical condition, while simultaneously fighting to maintain her career and financial stability. Friends close to the family have described Becky as being emotionally devastated by WWE's response to her situation. She's reportedly been struggling with guilt about potentially letting down her fans, anxiety about her daughter's health, and anger at being put in an impossible position by people she trusted. The stress of managing her daughter's medical care while trying to meet WWE's demands has been taking a visible toll on her physical and mental health. Those who have worked with her recently describe her as exhausted, distracted, and clearly struggling to balance impossible competing demands. Her daughter, meanwhile, is dealing with not only her medical condition but also the emotional impact of seeing her mother under such tremendous stress. Children are incredibly perceptive, and it's heartbreaking to think about how this corporate callousness is affecting an innocent child who's already dealing with significant health challenges. The extended family has rallied around Becky and her daughter, but they're also frustrated and angry at WWE's treatment of someone they love. They're watching a woman they care about being emotionally manipulated and financially exploited during one of the most difficult periods of her life. The time has come for WWE to be held accountable for their actions. This isn't just about one wrestler or one family, it's about the fundamental question of whether an entertainment company has the right to prioritize profits over the well-being of a sick child. Fans need to understand that their voices matter. Every ticket purchased, every piece of merchandise bought, every subscription to WWE's streaming services sends a message about what kind of behavior we're willing to accept from the companies we support. The wrestling community has always prided itself on being a family, on supporting each other through difficult times, and on standing up for what's right. Now is the time to prove that those values mean something more than just marketing slogans and promotional materials. Becky Lynch has given everything to WWE and to wrestling fans around the world. She's entertained us, inspired us, and represented the very best of what professional wrestling can be. Now, when she needs our support the most, we have the opportunity to show that the wrestling family is real and that we take care of our own. The question isn't whether WWE has the legal right to treat Becky this way, it's whether we as fans are going to allow them to continue operating with such callous disregard for basic human decency. What's happening to Becky Lynch is more than just a business dispute or a contract negotiation gone wrong. It's a fundamental test of whether the wrestling industry has any moral compass left, whether the companies that profit from our passion and loyalty have any obligation to treat their performers with basic human respect. The answer to that question depends on how we respond to this situation. Are we going to continue supporting a company that would exploit a mother's love for her sick child? Are we going to accept that entertainment value is more important than human dignity? Or are we going to stand up and say that enough is enough? That some things are more important than storylines and profit margins? That a child's health and a mother's love should never be used as corporate leverage? The choice is ours. The power is in our hands. And Becky Lynch, her daughter, and every other wrestler watching this situation unfold are counting on us to make the right decision. The wrestling world is watching. History is watching. And most importantly, a little girl fighting for her health is watching to see if the wrestling family her mother has dedicated her life to will be there when it matters most. What are you going to do about it? If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the WrestlingNewsCC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.